What's going on, team? It's Caddy with Money Vesting. I hope that you all are having an amazing day. So in this video, we will go over the S&P 500 ETF, ticker symbol SPY. This is going to be part of our daily morning update, and I will show you guys where the markets are trading right now pre-market, and where do I see those key support and resistance levels, and where do I see the pattern going remainder of today going into next week. A quick reminder, the markets will be closed tomorrow in observance of the Independence Day and the 4th of July weekend. So if there's any decisions you'd like to make before the week is over, today is the last trading day for the week. So I hope you guys have a really safe and a happy 4th of July. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to drop a like. It really helps out with the channel and recommends this video to other people who might be interested in watching as well. Also, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future market updates and videos related to investing and technical breakdowns. So today is also Thursday, so we will find out the new unemployment rate for the country. We will also find out the initial jobless claims number that were filed last week. The expectation is for last week at 1.4 million people, coming down from 1.48 million people, as you guys can see from prior weeks. So that number has been going substantially lower each week as far as the initial jobless claims number go. At one point we were filing over 6.8 million people for initial unemployment claims, and you can see how that number has gone down significantly to now 1.48 million, and the total or the cumulative jobless claims just dipped below the 20 million mark last week. So it'd be interesting to see if you're able to stay there or if you're going to see a resurgence in the number of initial claims, because that is obviously going to be the big driver for the markets today. So Texas and Florida, as we are all aware, we've seen a resurgence in cases in those states by record levels. So that can potentially mean that we see an increase in the number of initial claims and the jobless numbers. Now we will find out when they are reported a little bit before the market opens, but this right here is going to be the unemployment rate. You guys can see that we sit at 13.3%, and today the expectation is that we're going to drop down to 12.5%, which is going to be a positive catalyst for the markets going into the long weekend. But again, the Department of Labor also said that there was a misclassification error when they reported the 13.3% in the first place. That the real number, or the more accurate number, could be somewhere around 16 to 16.5%, which is much higher than the current levels. So it'd be interesting to see what they report today, and I would personally be keeping an eye on both of these metrics, the unemployment rate and the initial jobless claims from last week, and the total or the cumulative jobless claims number. So now we're going to jump over to the S&P 500 index ETF, ticker symbol SPY, and we will look at the pattern and where is it trading pre-market and where do I see the pattern going remainder of the day. So if you guys have been following up with any of my market updates, you have a really good understanding on what we're watching in terms of support resistance levels. The 3150 being a very clear resistance for the S&P 500 index, the $315 level being a very clear resistance for the S&P 500 ETF, ticker symbol SPY. The more near-term resistance for the index is going to be 3130. For the S&P 500 ETF is going to be 313, which it has gone rejected pre-market. So you guys can see this is where the market opened at 4 a.m. today. This is the 5-minute chart that we're looking at. So you guys can see 4 a.m. it pushed up and then it got rejected right around the $313 level, which I mentioned in my last night's market update. That's going to be the more near-term resistance that we need to watch. So rest of the day, that's definitely a resistance that we need to keep a close eye on. And right now you guys can see that it's approaching back to that level. So I will go ahead and create an alert over $313 just so I get notified if the market is breaking out of those levels, which means that the S&P 500 index will also be breaking out of the 3130 level. So now moving forward, you guys can see that this is the pre-market low, the pre-market support at $312 right on the dot. And the reason why this is acting as a really good support is because yesterday that was acting as a really good resistance. So if you guys look back right here on July 1st at around 3:40 to 3:45 p.m., this is where the pattern essentially got rejected and pulled back. Today the market gapped up, so it opened higher, so we're up just about 76 basis points. So the market is gapping up, and pre-market we're set to open higher. But personally, I would be very careful and very cautious, because when the markets do gap up like that, and we haven't had a single red day the entire week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday were all bullish, and we pushed up not just a few basis points, but a good 1.5% rallies these entire last 3 days. So today, if there is a minor correction, I can see the pattern retesting the $310 levels or the $312 levels, which it is acting as a really good support moving forward. So those are some key support and resistance levels I want you guys to watch very closely. The $312 level as the next support, the $313 as the next resistance, and essentially the pattern is trading in between that range. And if we are able to see a break past the $313, then we can go back and retest 315, which is going to be the main resistance level for both the ETF and the index. So 3150, if you jump over to the S&P 500 index, and if you go over to the daily chart, you guys can see that 3150 has always been a very clear form of resistance for the S&P 500 index. So this right here is what we're looking at, 3150. This is kind of like the bear cam that we have identified in all my previous market updates, and 3000 being a really strong support. And right now we're just about retesting 3130 on the ETF. So it's just approaching $313 level. If it's able to break out of that level, then we're looking at a maybe push up higher, close to 90 basis points. But if you do get rejected, then we're pretty much just consolidating within this area between the 3080 being the next near-term support and 3130 being the next near-term resistance, and we're just going to be going sideways within this trend channel before we either break out or break down. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and my quick technical breakdown on the S&P 500 index and the S&P 500 ETF itself. If you did, please make sure to drop a like. It really helps out with the channel and recommends this video to other people who might be interested in watching. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, because again, these videos are going to be packed with some really important information. So make sure that you hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future market updates. As always, happy investing, and I will see you guys in the next video.